All right, Sharp is good on this server. He's got 92 ping. He's been having some rough ping in some West servers, so he wanted to approve these ones before we got started. But we got Dreaz versus Sharp. Dreaz, our California boy, our only West player in the Feer 500. And since the last time Sharp and Dreaz played, Dreaz was able to take Sharp down. He's going to get server advantage in this one, starting first on his West and then switching back and forth as needed until the games are over. So we let both these guys know they can approve of the opposition servers before we get started. And Sharp says he's got a good enough one here, but we got Dreaz versus Sharp with lots of implications as the last game in the regular season of our league, and Dreaz is going to go for a little bit of an air dribble bump to start this game off, and he'll connect and get the demo even as he puts on the first goal. Dreaz has won the last 2 times that Sharp and him have played. The most recent time was Dreaz's debut on the Johnny Boy stream. I'm sure there's a little bit extra nerves when he was going for that one. But he was able to 3-0 Sharp there, and the last time he had played Sharp was on our stream when he actually also 3-0'd Sharp. But he hasn't always won, as one of his first games on stream was a loss to Sharp. So he's played Sharp a bunch of times, and this is a matchup that these guys are not surprised by. They play this all the time, as all these top guys in the ranked 1v1 ladder have to in order to get the rank they have. And Sharp is going to put a nice flick on net that's going to force a tough save from Dreaz, and the second opportunity will go in as Dreaz's save puts him right on the post, and he just gets caught watching. It would be hard to say that Dreaz is not favored in this matchup here. Somehow found a way to get this kickoff goal in, as he did not have much boost and didn't seem like this was going to be one that Sharp couldn't get back to, but found the speed. Sharp gets the touch, but is not able to keep it out of the net. As I was saying, you would think Dreaz would be heavily favored in this matchup based on how their previous matchups have gone, but the biggest thing is that Sharp seems absolutely on fire, as he just put a 3-0 on Chronic, which is something that nobody was able to do other than Kinsey in the league. And if you're playing like Kinsey, then that is a good sign for you. Dreaz is not able to tap this one off the back wall, and Sharp will finish it off and take advantage of that mistake. The implications for this game in the league is Dreaz is trying to push his way into the top 2. The only way he can do that is by not dropping a single game against Sharp. He needs to win every last one, and if he does so, he will put himself as the 2nd seed in the league, pushing Chronic down to 3rd and guaranteeing himself not only a bye in the playoffs, but a guaranteed $60 and a chance to win more in the playoffs. So Dreaz looking to be perfect in this series. But Sharp not only needs to be perfect, or sorry, it doesn't need to just be perfect. All he needs to do is get a series win, whether he wins by 3, 2, or 1, any kind of win, and he'll be able to push himself into the 3rd seed, which is very relevant, as he will not have to play Dreaz again, or a tough opponent like Robo. Everyone's currently trying to play a game against Stealth by putting himself in the 3rd seed. So Sharp, all he has to do is win. In order to do that, he's going to put himself up 3-2 in midfield on this high ball. As he gets up to aerial it early, Dreaz would be not expecting for him to go for such a high aerial and not able to get back in time. Interesting that in theory Sharp is fighting for a chance to play against Stealth, but Sharp, one of his 3 losses so far in the league has been to Stealth. Sharp's a little bit of an anomaly, as he has barely lost to Kinsey, took him to game 5, dominated Chronic, our current top 2. He has yet to see what's going to happen against Dreaz, as Dreaz gets a nice delayed flick to push this one just inside the post. But then Sharp catches the rest of his losses against Robo and Stealth, who are seemingly you know, middle of the pack type players that, based on how his performances have been against the top notch, you'd think he'd have not a lot of issue executing against the rest of the guys in the league, but that hasn't been the case, as he's now trying to show that he can take down not just Chronic, but also Dreaz. But Dreaz, a nice bounce dribble to himself, starting up an air dribble and taking it behind Sharp as he's not able to save it. 50-50 off the kickoff in Sharp's favor as he's trying to keep the pressure on. Dreaz has resorted to using pads, but convinces Sharp up for an early challenge, and Sharp's going to pass the ball away, and nice flick from Dreaz at midfield, even going to get a nice one from Sharp as he's got 23 boosts. Not a great situation for him. He picks up one more pad and is able to hit a perfectly placed flick to grab a 109 km/h flick from midfield. You'll see people try again to slap power shots in perfect situations and not be able to find 102 km/h speed that Dreaz gets easy off of a 12 boost flick. Nice air dribble low, 50-50, such a dangerous situation for him. And him being Sharp, where Sharp can not know whether or not Dreaz is going to get a flip reset or take it low or take it high. He doesn't know what to do. He has to sit and wait to find out what kind of shot Dreaz is going for. And Dreaz takes it low and squeezes it in the bottom right corner. Sharp's going to find a little bit of relief here in the form of a kickoff goal. Slaps it straight off the side wall and taps it in. Worth just as many points as Dreaz's last couple bangers. Sharp the first to mix up the kickoff in the league. He's going to go for a delayed, oh sorry, not a delayed, a fake kickoff as he taps it off the back wall, convincing Dreaz to dive in for it early, and it will be the difference between Dreaz being able to get back and not. Dreaz just getting a little bit over greedy and pushing himself all the way on the back wall of Sharp. Such a dangerous situation for him, but he just thought he had an opportunity to tap it away and could not sit there and watch Sharp wait to dribble that ball down. Possession off kickoff for Dreaz, but nice fast play from Sharp to take away that boost. Not afraid to go to the same side as Dreaz and keep his speed. Dreaz was playing it slow on account of needing to maintain control of the ball. Dreaz putting this on his back wall, which is a fine situation if he doesn't get demoed, and was centimeters away from getting just that. But Dreaz keeping the pressure on like he likes to do and convincing Sharp to go for an early save. Dreaz had an opportunity to backflip this one in, so Sharp felt like he needed to get up, because if Dreaz had tried to play that fast, he would have been in trouble. But Dreaz plays it smart and slow. Sharp goes flying by. 7-5 for Dreaz, and every single game counts. He's going to leave an open shot opportunity, but he knows Sharp is lacking boost and will not be able to get the speed before Dreaz is able to get back. Dreaz not able to connect on a demo as this ball gets tapped over him, but he does connect now. With 17 seconds left, he just needs to tap this over to the corner and take his sweet, sweet time. Maybe convince Sharp to come in for an ill-advised challenge. And there it is. The ill-advised challenge eventually comes out. Dreaz is not even going to rush this in the net. He's just going to hold on to it for the last few seconds as he secures game number 1. The air dribble's no good, but it doesn't matter, as he will take game 1 as we head over to East servers for Sharp. We'll watch Dreaz's ping here. We set up in this server. 64 for Sharp and 84 for Dreaz. Goodness gracious. Sharp not even getting good ping on his own servers. Dreaz is barely worse. Interested to find out where this East server is. Dreaz playing out of California and Sharp playing out of Louisiana. Definitely East servers should be giving him much better than just 20 ping advantage. But Dreaz is going to miss the wide open net. I didn't even think there was anything to say here, as it was so clear that Dreaz was going to tap in a free goal, but maybe tried to play it just a little bit too fast, and Sharp's going to get the first goal instead. And this has got to hurt, as Dreaz throwing a lull to himself in chat. The 2-goal swing, as he's not able to tap in what was an easy one, and instead gives Sharp possession, and he capitalizes. Nice bump from Sharp to keep Dreaz out of the initial kickoff goal, and might have been able to find the speed. Not quite enough to make it past Dreaz, and the fake challenge is going to be read easily by Dreaz, but with a low boost situation for him, I don't know if he wants to get up anyways, as he's willing to have Sharp jump over and over again for the ball. Nice placement from Dreaz as he found an opportunity to crush a bounce shot in. He's able to steal the boost, and Sharp on the back wall is in a tough spot. And perfect placement from Dreaz to bounce it off the ground and find the top right corner. Sharp, perfect slow play off kickoff possession for him. Talking so much tonight about getting those first possessions off kickoffs. This time he's able to secure it early enough to essentially call it a kickoff goal. And what placement for him? It could not have been a centimeter more to the left without rolling out, but he slams it off the post and in. He'll go back up 2-1 in this game. It'll be interesting to see if he ends up winning this game close. It'll be hard to forget that free one that Dreaz gave up early, and Dreaz is not... I was about to say Dreaz is not about to give up 2 free ones in a row, but he does, as it seemed like he had the connection, but misses just barely wide. He's not able to stay on top of this one as he gives over possession. Keep in mind, what's on the line for Dreaz is a free bye into the semifinals of the playoffs, but he needs to win every game, and he's going to tie it back up in game number 2. This flick forces out a weak save from Sharp, and the follow-up has too much speed. But he's going to tap this one back to midfield, or back to his side of the field instead of letting it go midfield. Nice placement from him to take what was a low boost and therefore a slow shot opportunity, but well placed. Forces out a very close save from Sharp as he needed to jump and fly backwards. This air dribble is not going to turn into much. The pinch shot at least puts a little bit of pressure on Sharp. Dreaz trying to keep the pressure on, and he's going to be able to get back in time and not force the immediate counterattack. He's able to get control of this ball and should be able to take it into the net and take the lead. Dreaz staying on top of this ball constantly. Sharp trying to get the pinch, maybe up the side wall, and keep that ball in Dreaz's half, but Dreaz just too fast. Gets the positioning under it and is able to take it away. As he's up 3-2, not afraid. As Dreaz staying on top of the ball off kickoff, is able to take boost in. Does not quite get demoed here, just gets it bumped a couple times. He's going to be able to keep up boost starvation, but maybe not possession. As Sharp taps it out to midfield. Dreaz taking up all the boost in the world, willingly going for 50-50s, but Sharp making a good low boost play, and now it'll be finally time for him to retreat as Dreaz sets up a full field dribble. I do not think he got the flip reset there. Yes, he did though, and it's just going to be a fake, as he was actually nowhere close to hitting this ball. I didn't even think he got it. I didn't think he'd get all 4 wheels on in time, but Sharp just gets caught watching as he was positioning himself for a second tap from Dreaz. That is the benefit of getting that flip reset, is you just catch somebody off guard and they have to sit and wait on the ground, to the point where the ball sometimes just ends up rolling in for free because they cannot get up early and look foolish if you use that second flip to get it over them. Sharp gets a midfield goal. Dreaz is able to bully one here, as Sharp is trying his best to stay on top of the ball and not let Dreaz get what he wants. But Dreaz connects with a bump to push him under it, and then connects with another bump to push him out of the way and set himself up for a goal. Minute 48 left. Sharp control of the kickoff. Dreaz challenges early. Has a potential opportunity to long shot this one in, and he will connect. He is done missing the open opportunities. Maybe he scores this one this time, because Sharp was at least in the realm of being able to stop him. Big kickoff from Dreaz as he's trying to maintain his lead here. Dreaz is 14 years old, or I think he's 14 years old very recently. He's slamming this one off the corner, which means Sharp's gonna have an opportunity. Sharp taps it early though, and it will end up being just a goal for Dreaz, so maybe he's big brain. So he knew exactly what he was doing, letting Sharp have a free shot on net. Sharp ended up being just positioned a little bit too close to get a powerful shot. He ends up tapping it over to Dreaz, and Dreaz will take it away to go up 7-3. Looking like he's going to put himself in position to potentially put himself in the second spot in the league. Of course, we curse him a little bit as Sharp gets possession of kickoff and flicks it way high in the air. Moonball from him as Dreaz trying to challenge early and just gets caught in absolute no man's land as that ball takes a trip to the moon and comes back down, and Sharp's able to tap it in for a fourth. Dreaz taken to the air. A slow air dribble is going to let him set up a potential double tap as he needed to find a nasty angle straight down in order to find the back of the net. Dreaz is going to give some space to Sharp and convince Sharp to put up a flick with a fake challenge. Possession back to Dreaz as he tries to tap it over Sharp in his half, but he's not able to. Sharp connects with a demo and should absolutely be able to score a fifth goal, unless a miracle happens, and it doesn't. 31 seconds left. Sharp needs to find a kickoff goal or two if he wants to prevent Dreaz from going to match point. Nice bump from Kinsey. Is the difference between Sharp being able to gain control. Sharp's long shot will once again be controlled by Dreaz, and Dreaz taps it up right in front of his own net. Is not worried about slamming it away. He knows he just needs to maintain possession, and a smart, cool-headed play from Dreaz will eventually force the dangerous play from Sharp, which he absolutely needs to do with time dwindling away. Did I say nice bump by Kinsey? Oh my goodness. Kinsey, you played too many matches on stream. Kinsey with the nice bump. Kinsey, Dreaz, Night Owl played 2 games in a row. I already said his name a few times. Sharp up with the mega early challenge, and it actually does work out for him, but he barely is even worried about that one. Dreaz is going to take an East game win and go up 2-0. He needs every last one if he wants to take number 2 in the league. Man, screw you guys, dude. I'm just going to call everyone Kinsey. It's just easier that way. Whoever's winning must be Kinsey. Oh, wait. Don't ready up. We have to go back to West. Alright, well. No problem, he says. I like it. I honestly, I mean, it's up to the players to really decide that, but this is a fairer server, as these guys are within 20 ping. Anyways, thanks to everybody who's been following in between matches here. Tezuko, Scotty, Fresh, Balake. Glad you guys are enjoying this. Sharp's going to go up 2-0 as Dreaz has agreed to continue to play these games on East, as this is a pretty fair ping. Sharp doing a nice wave dash kickoff. We actually have yet to see him pull it out today, but it's something that he seems to like to do more often than others. Save that second flip and use it to wave dash to get right back to the ball. Usually you're trying to play a delayed style where the other player slams it into you and you just tap it ever so slightly back in the other direction and then use your flip to catch back up to it. Something that worked for Sharp just now, but is a little bit risky and maybe not something they can consistently hit as often. But Dreaz is just barely able to save this air dribble bump. Sharp does not get the demo that he wants, and Dreaz just barely keeps it out and is able to get the counterattack goal for his efforts. Nice save from him, and good play from Sharp. It's hard to beat him up for going for that one, as that was all the way into the net. Just barely saved. Guys, I've set the score up wrong. You guys really need to save me right now, man. I cannot handle 3 matches in a row. Right now, Dreaz is up 2-0, and I'll fix that as soon as another goal is scored. And that might be right now as Sharp's going to get a demo goal. Sharp has not won yet. It is 2-0 Dreaz. But a demo from Sharp, and he's going to put one on. He's up 3-1. Normally in a situation like this, with Dreaz up 2-0, he'd probably be feeling good, knowing he's got a nice cushion. He can afford to give one up here or there. But not the situation tonight, as Dreaz needs every win. How many different ways can I say it, guys? I'm stressing it. If you don't understand, what Dreaz has to play for is a bye in the league. He needs all 3 of these games. Sharp just needs the eventual win. Dreaz able to recover after a nice challenge from Sharp, but he's used up all his boost to pre-flip early to try and tap it away. That ends up being the wrong decision, as Sharp will tap it over him and put in a 5th goal. Loads of time left as the goals have come quick here early. Sharp's dribble stopped out easily. Sorry, Dreaz's dribble stopped out easily by Sharp, and now Dreaz has a potential opening opportunity. I'm surprised he didn't play it fast. He is eventually going to score it anyway, so maybe this is a more reliable way to do it. But it seemed like he had an opportunity to boom this one before Sharp could get there. But I guess when in doubt, if he trusts his air dribble bump or his double jump pop bump more than he does luck that Sharp won't get a nice spawn, then there's no reason not to go for it. Sharp's going to get a kickoff goal right back, or he's going to blow a kickoff goal and eventually score it as Dreaz panic flips towards the ball and Sharp just corrals it back on net. The Night Owl bump, yeah, the double jump pop bump that Night Owl ever so loves to go for. The one thing he did walk away from the league, despite not making the playoffs, is a signature move that we have assigned him. Dreaz is able to keep this kickoff goal out of the net, and now he needs to play smart with low boost. So he tries to continue to keep Sharp out, trying to play slow and play smart. Might leave open opportunity, but instead, he's able to get a nice 50-50 with Sharp. He's going to like to stay on top of the ball despite no boost. He's grabbed a couple pads and goes for a dangerous challenge off the wall to try and grab a 50-50. Sharp's trying to find the angle immediately, and he does at least pop it over Dreaz, as Dreaz trying to stay on top of the ball immensely right now. Seems like his strategy for keeping Sharp out is to keep the pressure on over and over and over and not give a single inch, but this time Sharp sees it coming. He's able to tap it over and is up 7-2. Dreaz in a tough spot with 2 minutes left. Sharp long shot. Should be saved easily. Dreaz not able to get his own boost, but somehow, some way, gets a demo from Sharp. Nice spawn and quick flick from Sharp. And that's the reason why, when Dreaz has the opportunity, he's going for the bump instead of the long shot, because in situations like that, sometimes that defender's able to spawn in time. This time, though, Dreaz did not have the boost to set up an air dribble. He needed to smack on a long shot as soon as he could. Sharp's going to go up 8-2, minute 40 left. Dreaz is going to forfeit this game, and he's ready to go into the next one. Interesting decision from him, as he has officially forfeited his top 2 spot. I wonder if he's aware that he did so, but either way, they're now just playing for seeding outside of the playoffs, or sorry, outside of the bye in the playoffs. Headed into game number 4 after Dreaz forfeited the last one. Now with that one loss, Chronic and Kinsey will be our 2 players who earn a bye in the league. With Dreaz and Sharp playing for positioning. We'll see how long they stay in this rule number 1. Sharp is, of course, going to go take his free goal that was offered to him and Dreaz is gonna give him some OMGs like he could possibly blame him for it. But we see Dreaz back in the Batmobile. He just used the Batmobile in order to get... I was gonna wait till OT. Dreaz is back in the Batmobile, which he got 2 game wins off of Kinsey before finally getting toppled in. I think Dreaz seems to think that the Batmobile is just a little bit, like, not cheap, but almost gimmicky, it seems like. He doesn't like to consistently play it, but at the same time, feels like it's a nasty car. At least that's what it sounded like he was saying yesterday. So he's back in it today when he needs to secure his win. So now these guys are playing for the 3rd seed. I think if Sharp is able to win this game, he'll take 3rd seed and we'll get to play stealth, or have to play stealth because he's already lost to stealth. And Dreaz trying to play for that 3rd seed as well, which just in general puts you in a better situation. He's going to get a nice Batmobile flick to score this one over Sharp. Sharp trying to challenge early, but the Batmobile flick is going to do him dirty. My goodness, 3 show matches in a row. Really hurts the voice a little bit. Dreaz pop high. Nice bump, but actually Sharp is able to get the residual bump movement on Dreaz enough to keep him out, and another quick play from him after the demo. It's interesting that that happens in this game. I'd argue that that's almost like a bug. If Dreaz is going to explode Sharp, then why does Dreaz go flying backwards as well? Who knows, but Dreaz does eventually secure the goal that he was arguably robbed of with a nice air dribble demo, and he's going to go up 3-1. Are those overhead flicks even possible to deal with? The best way that flicks that slam over people's head is assuming what you're talking about and not like the air dribble musty flicks off the ceiling. If you leave yourself in a position to let them take that flick, then yes, it does become essentially impossible to defend. But the way to defend them, what these guys do, is challenge early, not let the opponent get into opportunities where they can put unsavable flicks on net. Dreaz getting bumped into smithereens here onto the back wall after Sharp's flick, and he's not able to recover from that one in time. Sharp little flick, and all it takes when the defender is trying to jump is just a little tap, because that jump just helps the bump push the person away, and that's what happened there to Dreaz. So he just slams into the back wall and never stood a chance. But Sharp's going to tie it back up, but he's going to give another free one away as Sharp just angled his car in a tough position, pointing back to midfield, almost expecting that one to roll towards midfield when Dreaz was obviously going to take it into the corner. And Dreaz is able to tap it over him, and that car positioning not only is terrible for challenging as he needs to reverse, but also terrible for recovering. It just puts him in a tough spot, maybe forced into that spot by some circumstances we didn't notice. But Dreaz is going to go up 4-3. Sharp can catch off the wall, puts a flick to the moon yet again, this time with a backflip, and Dreaz goes flying under it yet again. Is this game 4? Yes, sir, it is. Sharp with some moonball flicks have been able to make it past Dreaz. Dreaz somehow thought it was game 5 for a moment. But it's game number 4. Dreaz not able to fully finish off his kickoff goal, and now he needs to retreat. I'm surprised he didn't try and flip at that ball early. Another high flick from Sharp, and he's just going to try and bump Dreaz completely out of the way. But both these guys completely boost starved, are not going to be able to get much going here. But I was surprised by Dreaz as he's going to get potentially scored on here. Nice last second save from him, and he might be able to turn this into a goal if Sharp actually didn't get under him and keep him from recovering perfectly. But as I was saying, Dreaz had an opportunity to challenge that one early with low boost. Usually when you see a quick opportunity with low boost to challenge, it's almost easier to do that than heading back to your net and trying to save whatever the person comes up with. But Dreaz thought it was smarter to head back to the net, and that's the reason why this guy's #1 in North America, and we're sitting here watching him. So he was eventually able to keep that ball out of his net. These two passing it back and forth. Sharp trying his best to put this out of a dangerous position, and Dreaz just waiting under the ball menacingly, forcing Sharp up over and over again. But now Sharp has it in a good opportunity for himself. He's going to try and push it high off the crossbar, and that is going to cost him every last bit of boost he has left. Dreaz trying to set up the dribble, but Sharp is too close. Good turn from him to keep the pressure on. Sharp trying to pinch it off his own corner, but Dreaz taps it away. Dreaz's shot is good. Forces a high save from Sharp, and Sharp has very little boost. He elects to go early and try and play a bump game, or make an early challenge with the 20 boost that he had, but a huge flick by Dreaz. And Sharp almost makes the recovery in time, but ends up landing just a little bit too far, which takes a couple of his wheels off the back wall and makes his flip a backflip instantly instead of having an opportunity to use both of his flips, and that will freeze him in place. And Dreaz is able to put it past him. 46 seconds left. And if Dreaz can hold on to this one-game lead, he will secure the #3 seed. Or so this 1-point lead, he will secure the #3 seed. But Sharp with a nice dribble, starting on the right side and cutting it over last second. Good flick to put it right in the middle of the net. The way he's able to find the back of the net on this one is the setup and where he took the ball before that, which has forced Dreaz into a tough shadowing position despite the flick not being particularly nasty itself. It's the setup that helps him find the back of the net. And 5-5, we're all tied up. 50-50 at midfield, long shot by Sharp. Should be able to get stopped by Dreaz, but Dreaz is forced up so much so that he won't be able to grab his own corner boost. He's going to stay on top of this ball. Boost starved, trying to find a way to get it past Sharp. Low boost for him, and Sharp's trying to finish this one off, and he will, as Dreaz is not able to get back. And he's going to go up 6-5 with 14 seconds left and potentially bringing this to a game 5. And forcing Dreaz down in the standings. Sharp with the late season run and the late series run here. He's able to hold this one off and take game number 4 to force game 5. Sharp, no reason to rush this one at net. Instead, slams it off the sidewall. Dreaz is waiting for it to come down, and Sharp's just going to punish him as Dreaz needed to get something on net. With this one floating in the air. And Dreaz says he's scared. Sharp is going to take game number 4 as we head to the last game 5 of the regular season. Sharp versus Dreaz. Winner gets #3 seed. Loser will have to play Kinsey first instead of Chronic in the semis if they make it there. Game 5 hypes in the chat. Here we are. Dreaz versus Sharp. Such a limited amount of game 5s we've played in the league, but we got another great one here. Dreaz, up until this moment, had been handling Sharp in the last couple show matches they played in. Started this one off early in equal fashion, went up 2-0. But Sharp has found his form and shown why he's been so consistently rated in the top 100. Both these guys are going to trade quick goals off kickoff to tie it back up 1-1. Ball heading towards Sharp's side. He's going to try and get a nice low boost power shot as he lulled Dreaz into sleep. Dreaz thought he had an opportunity to grab boost and potentially keep possession, but his wide swing after grabbing boost turns out to be the death of him, as Sharp has just enough to power a shot in net and go up 2-1. Big kickoff from Sharp, and Dreaz is going to fall for it as he taps over an easy possession to Sharp. Sharp's going to slam it on the wall early, something I would not have expected from him, is that it seems like it's going to end up in giving away possession. He actually did recover from it a little bit, but then made his second touch weak and handed it over. 50 near the wall. is going to go in favor of Sharp. Dreaz plays it slow and tries to take the opportunistic 50-50. Sharp's going to rush it back to the net as soon as he can, trying to go for the air dribble or at least the float behind the ball and get the 50-50 high. Isn't able to take it and will keep the pressure on. Dreaz playing smart, channeling his inner mile, playing backwards, but Sharp's bump might be enough, not quite, as these two cannot seem to decide who's going to take control of this game. Dreaz tapping it up on the back wall. Sharp using his last bit of boost to slam it downfield. Able to grab a couple pads and refuses to let Dreaz have an open opportunity. Seems to respect Dreaz's shots too much, but this was probably a mistake from Dreaz, as he had a ball floating in his own half and an opportunity to set up absolutely whatever he wants, and instead he goes for a more 2v2 or 3v3 type hit and just slams it out to midfield, just giving control back over to Sharp. Sharp's able to save yet another flick, and he's scared of the Batmobile. That Batmobile can pop it up over him at a moment's notice, and he's going to go up 3-1 after a very long possession. Eventually ends up in his favor as Dreaz tries to backflip to take away the ball, and Sharp's able to tap it over him. Dreaz says he's throwing in chat, and the stream chat seems to agree, saying he's playing sporastic, or as I should say, their words were wild. A little bit less of an exotic word. Dreaz getting caught early on his dribble. That ball just sitting on the top of his car. Always a dangerous position to have it directly on top of your car like Dreaz does. If you start that dribble where it's at least falling off the top of your car going forward, then you're in a better situation to potentially get a 50-50 if your opposition turns to take it away from you. But with the ball directly on top of his car, it means he's in a terrible spot if Sharp decides to turn. And Sharp does so fast enough. 2 minutes and 30 seconds left, not 36 seconds left. 3-goal lead for Sharp is nothing in a 1v1. It is far from over. He's going to try and get a backflip and squeeze this one in, and he does. Dreaz thought for sure that Sharp was going to try and play the possession game and take this ball over to the corner, so Dreaz was prepping for it by cheating over there, but that was not Sharp's plan. He gets under the ball and then backflips it behind him. He's going to go up 5-1. Batmobile Dreaz not able to find the magic that he did in the Kinsey matchup just yesterday. Nice flick here, though, as he's going to get a little bit of his lost ground back. 2 minutes left with 3 goals to get, and it's certainly far from over. Just crazy to show you how close all these competitors are, how on any given day somebody can take the other down. Dreaz, #1 ranked in North America for the past week or so, has been dominating on the ranked ladder, whereas Sharp has not quite been focusing as much on keeping his rank high, but doesn't mean he's not able to take down the top dog when given the opportunity. This long shot from him gets tapped away by Dreaz, and he's not able to score on the second attempt either. Dreaz with boost control, trying to use all of it up to grab a demo in Sharp's corner, and he's not able to, so Sharp's going to be able to grab a couple boosts of his own, but electing to not grab his own corner boost and instead try and stay on top of the ball maybe ends up being the right decision. Dreaz gets caught out under this ball, trying desperately to gain control as he's down 3 and maybe looking for some kind of magic. But Sharp, too good to let him sneak under and take that ball away. All he has to do is tap it off, and he's got a free range on the way to his 6th goal. Wave dash kickoff from him. Still ends up in possession for Dreaz. Dreaz playing it slow, using that Batmobile to flick it, but just a little bit too high. Maybe wishing he had an octane flick in this moment, as that Batmobile soars it to the sky. 40 seconds left and 4 goals to score. Dreaz needs to find his groove now. Needs to average less than 10 seconds a goal, and this might be the beginning of it. Thank goodness for him that ended up going in. Otherwise, that certainly would have been the end of this game. He's going to put himself down 3, and it's time for the mind games of kickoffs to come into effect here. Dreaz saying he should have taken advantage of swapping back servers, but we don't feel too guilty as these servers are somewhat fair, and the West servers are big time in his favor. And Dreaz was able to do this all on East when he played against Johnny Boy, but now looking back in retrospect, as he sees the series being taken by Sharp, he's thinking, oh man, maybe I should have taken the advantage I was offered. But GG's from both these guys. Dreaz saying, can't believe he threw. Well played to Sharp. Sharp has played really well in his defense. But Dreaz 1 game away from securing top 2 and is instead going to be taken down by Sharp in a reverse sweep. Chat said it was going to be hard for him to do, but Sharp manages to pull it off. And we'll see Dreaz and Sharp both again tomorrow as we start the playoffs. Who we're not going to see is Chronic and Kinsey, as they have a bye, and not going to see Night Owl, as he unfortunately did not make it. GG's, chat. Just talked about Night Owls, was typing his name. Sharp versus Dreaz, game 5.